Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's number one Chief Rockin' Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezie in the place, joined by the man that is so smooth he does not require a chaser. Still, the real AD is in the house.
Bim! Bim! You done took our Bim away, Freezie. We had to bring back the Bim.
I want that too. I need to record that and just
absolutely. That's the trademark right there.
Yeah.
No one can drop that like Freezie. Absolutely. What's up, sir? We haven't been on in a minute. The Dynamic Duo is back.
The Dynamic Duo is back, bro.
Back. We had to take a little. Well, I had to take a little hiatus and so forth. Traveling, this, that, and the third.
I've been working on some things, like some stuff too. Yeah. So it's kind of had me kind of spread kind of thin.
Absolutely.
But we are back, and we are not going to talk about Patrick Ewing being the greatest center of all time. We are not going to talk about Pat Ewing being the GOAT.
We're not.
Pat Ewing, if you watching, bro, you the GOAT.
Not unless he's giving out a curry goat recipe.
Yeah.
He on a cooking show.
We first gen, so you know what it is.
Yo, salute to the chat, Nick Nation. Salute to y'all. We haven't seen y'all in a minute.
Right. I've been working on the intro for us for years.
I know.
Right.
In a minute.
And so I came up with one for the 718 boys, right? And I was like, it's easy, but I don't know why.
You out here like Dr. Dre, detox 20 years later.
Yeah,
25 years.
So Ed Lover and Dr. Dre, or
Dr. Dre,
or 1984, JJ Fed.
Yes,
Chronic Dr. Dre.
NWA.
Before
Dr. Dre.
Oh, okay.
We've been waiting on detox.
Not before you turn out the lights, Dr. Dre. Okay.
No, we've been waiting. We've been waiting on detox so long. We done relapsed like 20 times.
You're like 20 times. Yeah. And so just real quick for those that's watching, right? I'm gonna play just like the first 10 seconds of it because this is how easy it was. This is how easy it was to put together, right? To all my people uptown, Harlem. Get ready for your main man's Corey Lee, Staten Island, and Boulevard 73, aka CL Smooth and Bully, the Bronx, your 718. See, I can't do nothing like that for us. I feel like for us, it got to be.
I think we got a different vibe.
Yeah, I think it got to be more sophisticated, man. I know some brothers, man. I'm gonna see if I can get them to sing.
Shout out to the 718 boys.
The brown paper bag boys.
Brown paper bag, cold duck.
The cold duck boys.
Cold duck is, I love this show.
Shout out to the great Manischewitz boys.
Yes. With no ice. You know they going straight to the head. They ain't got no ice. They pass it around like Cooley High. Right. Pour this out for the brothers.
Right. And they're gonna save the cap. They're gonna save the cap for their record player. They're gonna save the cap and put nickels in it for their record player.
My God.
That's how old school they are. But yeah,
that's
man.
What it is. That's what it is.
So in Knicks universe, there's been a lot of things going on, man. 2 Knicks on Team USA. A poll coming out about Jalen Brunson. RJ Barrett playing for Team Canada. A whole bunch of stuff, right? I ain't on again that stuff. What I'd like to get into is a classic old school Knicks conversation.
That's who we are, right?
Right.
We old school like hip hop. 50 years salute.
50 years.
Yeah. Did you catch the show last night?
Nah, I didn't. I did not.
No, you got to catch it on YouTube. It's well worth a watch. They brought out DJ Hollywood.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
He's
like 80 years old.
I was telling my lady, I was like, yo, Hollywood is like at least 78.
At least.
Because
if Shan is about 70, then Hollywood gotta be close to 80 at least.
Also, DJ, the Godfather, Kool Herc came out.
Kool Herc.
Yeah. DJ Kool Herc, they came out as well. It was good to see, those that paved the way, from way back then when we was a shorty, you only heard whispers of the Cool Herc party.
Right.
Because really and truly, everybody says that they was there.
No, they wasn't there.
Everybody wasn't there. Everybody wasn't there.
Yeah, and
we was there in spirit.
Right.
Right. Yeah, we was there in spirit.
Come on, bro. I was like 5. I mean, come on, bro. I was like 5 years old. Ain't no way I could have been. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's 73. Bro, I wasn't even, I was barely in school, bro. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. These cats
go someday though, Freezie.
Dudes my age, talking about, yeah, man, I pulled up in the caddy. Bro, how you pulled up in the caddy, man? You the same age.
You pulled up. You were sitting on your daddy's lap in the caddy. Playing with the wheels.
Right. This was before car seats, everybody. This was before car seats.
There was no such thing.
Right.
There's no such invention. Car seat.
Right. This was before you had to wear a seatbelt.
Plant your ass right there and don't move. That was the car seat.
Yes. Yes.
That was the car seat. There's no such thing as seatbelts in the back.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no. Man. But you know what? Maybe I do have to check it out. I just want to say this thing about the 50 years of hip hop, though I don't know if that's an arbitrary age or if they just went back to the date of that party.
Or those times and just went bam.
Yeah, and let's just make it. I just think they chose a date and they just gonna go. It's like BC and AD. Let's just go from that date forward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Which is fine. I just like the recognition. Like I said, Hollywood comes out last night and he does this song, Looking Back in Time, when I see you there. What? He was still doing it, Freezie. He was still it just took you. The block party was everything.
Yes.
In the summer.
Yes.
The block party is kind of like the bar mitzvah for black people and brown people. Yeah. It's like the first time you're gonna get that courage. There's a group of girls over there.
Yeah.
With the little baby hair going down.
Latanya and them, Shanice. Latanya and Shanice. All of them over there.
Right there. You've been waiting
Dee-dee.
forever. You know what I'm saying? You done throw in a sour apple now later in your mouth to get fresh.
To get fresh and super clean.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. You done stepped across the skelly board, to make that.
Out there with your Latigra shirt on.
Stop playing. Stop playing.
With your Latigra and Bugle Boys.
No, you can't get that. And your little white or beige striped shorts. Everybody seemed to have the red or the blue that went right up the side.
Right up the side, yeah.
Right up the side.
Bro, we shopped in Brooklyn one year. We went to Brooklyn one year. I forget the name of the place. But we went in there and they had those shorts, bro, in a stand as far as the eye could see. Yo, as soon as you walked in the door, it was in the stand all the way back to the DJ booth, bro. You you can get them in every variety, bro. My mom was like, how many of these you want? I was like, none.
I don't want none.
None. Are you crazy?
I don't want any, but you had no choice.
Right.
You had no choice in the matter. That's what you been gonna wear.
Man.
Those, like I said, it was just so good to see them and so many, variety of artists. Wayne touched the stage last night. Took you back to Carter. Carter 3.
Classic.
He did, when he does a Billy, we losing our mind up in here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
did I ever tell you why I hate that song?
What? No. You don't have to share that.
A Billy.
You got to share that.
So I had been broke for the majority of my life. And when I say broke, I'm talking about the classic live check to check and run out of money before your check hit every week. This is how I lived. And so I finally got to a point where I kind of stepped up a little bit. And then the next step, and so I stepped up a little bit, like, I'm like, I got $30 at pay before payday. I ain't going to my mama house asking to borrow $20. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, look, I got $30 on pay. So here I'm out here buying Keith Washington albums and Shantae Moore albums, and I still got some money left. I'm like, I'm doing something. And then I take the next step, right? Well, Wayne album comes out. At the same time, I buy the fanciest car in my family. I ain't gonna say what it is, right? I'm not gonna get into all of that, but it's got everything on the AD. It's got the fingerprint open, like when you put your thumb on a handle, the door unlock. It got the Mercedes Benz track thing light up when you open the door.
Right.
Mercedes-Benz. It's got the screen that open up, and it got the gauges are digital, and they do their little test thing, and it's got the emblem here and all that stuff, and all the seats adjust to setting 1. Like when I put my thumb on the door, it adjusts to setting 1 because I'm the person driving, and the 1 slot, like when Mo do it, it adjusts to the whatever, right? I love that car, bro. But the one drawback to that is every time I went to that car, it played my radio in alphabetical order. So every time I got in the car, a milli. So when I'm going to work, a milli. When I'm going to lunch that day, a milli. When I'm coming home, a milli. So I heard the song so much, bro. I hated it, and I tried to find it in my phone to do the settings, and I messed it up so bad one time that I had no radio. So then whenever I got it back to the original thing, I was like, I ain't gonna touch it. I'm gonna just leave it right here. So every time I drove that car, bro, every time I got in that car, a milli. Yo, I hate that song so much right now, bro. I'm telling you, I can't help it, bro.
You hate it so much that you forget that he's not even saying a milli, he's saying a billy.
Right.
That's how mad you are. You know what?
Bro, I'm saying.
You in that damn record. Get out of here.
Get out of here, bro. And it's not that, hey, shout out to J Boogie. J Boogie is in the building. Yeah, it's not that I hated the song when I first heard it. It's when you hear it every time you get in the car. Bro, it just
gave it to you. It just really gave it to you.
So every time I hear that song, I think about that car. Yeah, every time I hear that song, I think about that
song. You know, your car was and is for a man just it's our place out of the house.
Right.
It's like, you know, you want me to get out? Okay. I go to my car.
Right. Yeah.
You ain't there.
Yeah.
It's nothing but me and the tunes and, you know, the highway. You know how many times I've just gotten on the highway, I'm just going nowhere?
Just riding. Yeah.
Just riding. Just absolutely riding. And that's what the car, you know, represents.
Yeah,
you know
man.
What I mean?
I got the keys to that car somewhere else. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. So when you said Lil Wayne and that song, I'm like, oh my God, bro. I just can't. It's just something about that song. I just can't even stomach it no more. But shout out to all the legends. But one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, ask you about is, I need your help. Right? I need your help to get off the ledge. And I'm on the ledge for this reason. I feel like this is a good team, the Knicks. I feel like the Knicks are a good team. But I'm starting to think that this team is being built like the 90s Knicks.
There's no goon on the team. How could that be?
Right.
There's no goon on the team.
Right.
You know, Randall may be Randall, you know, maybe quickly a little bit in spurts. There's no goons on this team. They may play hard defense, but there's no, you know, you're not getting a hard. Ain't no one thought. I haven't seen a hard foul in three and a half years.
No. And we should have been hard fouling in the playoffs, and we were not.
Yeah, outside of Mitch here and there, and iHeart maybe, you know what? Back up. iHeart may be the goon,
but he can't help it.
But he can't help it.
Yeah. He just
I
a
don't.
goon.
Yeah, I don't see it. But the coach, he's about the defense. So I don't see it. I don't see them building it like the 90s. We said this so many times before. It's the Brunsons.
Yeah, but when I say like the 90s, I mean being built. I mean roster construction and money. I'm not talking about the player type.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying now.
Yeah,
it's a slow process.
Right. And right now at the moment, the Knicks are $23 million over the salary cap. And this time next year, without any changes, they'll be $42 million over the salary cap when extensions and all that stuff kick in. And that's not to count if Quickly gets an extension this year, if Randall gets an extension this year, if Hartenstein gets an extension this year, and next year you're talking about Grimes and Brunson, right?
Whoa!
And then at the same time, and I'm not trying to ring the alarm, but at the same time, the young talent is being plucked off this roster one at a time and being replaced by veterans. It went from Frank and DSJ to Knox to Obi.
I almost threw up. You said Frank and DSJ as if they will be invited back to anything.
Right.
New York Knicks related.
But yeah, y'all say once a Knick, always a Knick, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't say that. The reason why I said y'all is because I don't agree.
That has come out of my mouth before.
I do not like that saying, bro. Because ain't no way you're gonna tell me Quincy AC is once a Knick, always a Knick.
Or Tracy McGrady.
Oh my God,
right?
bro! Oh
that was
my God!
What? I think Tracy McGrady had like 3 good games.
3 good games, and he won a number 3 with us. Yeah. He didn't even win a number 1 with us, bro.
Yeah. I remember we were thinking, maybe McGrady can, you see like how Harden now has transitioned into like a full-time point guard.
Right.
At the time, we were like, hey, maybe McGrady can be our point. Yeah. That's how desperate and delusional we were as Knicks fans.
We were delusional, bro.
That's how desperate and delusional we were. We were counting McGrady as he was going to be in the free agent plans for the upcoming year.
Oh, my God. Bro, you remember Katino Mobley?
Oh. In Houston? Yes. I remember him in Houston.
Bro. I'm saying, man, as I think we might be slow walking down this path of, see, that's 2000s Knicks that you're talking about. I'm talking about 90s Knicks of paying guys, like not paying a star all the money, but paying a bunch of dudes the money and then not being able to go get a guy that'll get you over the top.
Well, here's the thing with that, Freezie, with the 90s Knicks. I believe Checkers and them tried. See?
Okay.
At one point, they tried to get Magic Johnson. Because remember, Magic came back in 96 with the Lakers. They tried to rope him in. Right. Then what happened. Magic retires again.
Right.
But they tried to get Mitch Richmond.
Right. In 92.
Right.
92.
They just fail at it. Oh, they just fail at what it took to get it done.
There was a Cedric Ceballos. You remember the Cedric? I think it was 95. The Cedric Ceballos summer. I think it was like 95-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like 95-ish. Cedric Ceballos.
Something like that.
And another somebody that went to Charlotte. Was it Bobby Phills? Left Cleveland and went to Charlotte?
Phil's right. I believe so. I'm not totally sure on that, but I do believe it was Phil's or something to that effect. But they tried. They just swang and miss
Does that
on
not
a
sound
host
familiar?
of deals.
That don't sound familiar to right now.
I don't think we've outside of Donovan, I don't think they were seriously in anything. It's just rumors, you
Right.
know.
Right.
Like Gregory Isaac once said, rumors them spreading. That's all they're doing. Like Cameo said,
Man,
rumors.
that
All
was a
these
cameo.
rumors.
That
No,
was a cameo.
that was Cameo that dropped rumors.
No, that was not cameo.
Yes.
That was Tom X Social Club.
No.
I promise you, bro.
When Cameo goes, that look at all these rumors surrounding me every
Every
day.
day. That's Tom X Social Club, bro.
That's not Cameo.
No, bro.
We gonna
Kiss
have to
FM used to
no,
play that song every
yeah, we
morning.
gonna have to look
I'm
that
a,
up.
I'm a, I'm a, I'm gonna show it to
Oh
you on
yeah,
this.
we gonna have to look that up.
Watch.
But that's all they do. They let it out to Woj what they want to get out, you know, this, that, and the third, and that's it. Long are the days when Checkits was garden president, okay, it was required of him. He looked forward to getting on the local networks and discussing certain things.
Right.
That summer going into it, that's the 96 summer when they eventually get Allen Houston, Larry Johnson, Chris Childs, and so forth, right? Leading into that summer, that was the ballyhooed summer with all the top free agents was going in. Morning, this, that, Hardaway, everybody.
Jordan spent a month in Atlantic City. You remember that?
Gary Payton, everybody, right? Shaq, everybody, okay? Right. Checkits comes on the radio and Morning's name comes up. And at the time, Riley and them had made their trade when they traded Glenn Rice the year before. Right. For Morning's not going to be a free agent.
Yeah.
And Checkits goes into his damn near tampered.
Yeah.
And they asked him, he's like, yeah, we'll see about that. Those were his ending words as far as Miami re-signing Morning. Right. We'll see about that. He attempts to get Morning. The reason why Riley gets Morning is because he upped the ante. He put Glenn Rice in the deal.
Right.
The Knicks were trading, according to the rumors at the time, Starks, Oakley, and whoever else to get Morning. That was a done deal.
Can I throw a rock in your shoe?
Throw the rock in the shoe.
I'm just going to put the splinter in the finger.
Go right ahead.
Right. This is the same. What you're talking about is what happens is a splintered Knicks front office. A splintered Knicks front office made the cardinal mistake of focusing or not focusing on one player, right? But trying to court them all. Because this is also the Sean Kemp summer. You remember Sean Kemp? Remember when Seattle was frustrated with Sean Kemp? Right? With Sean Kemp, Gary Payton, and all of that.
Yeah.
And Sean Kemp eventually winds up leaving. And I tell people all the time, if the Knicks could have somehow left 95, 94, 95, 96 with Mitch Richmond and Sean Kemp, Pat Ewing has a ring.
Right? They just kept,
they just couldn't. They
couldn't at the very, remember, what's my guy that went to Duke? Grant Hill.
Grant Hill, yeah.
They hosted Grant Hill.
Yep, they botched it up.
With Tania, and they botched it up.
Yep.
They botched it up completely.
Right.
But there's evidence of, if you want to hang your hat on it, that they were in the game. This management right here, the running joke is they're waiting for the disgruntled superstar. They're waiting because they're stockpiling the picks and they have all of this and they're going to jump in and swoop in like an eagle and take all of that. Right? You know, when you're playing spades and you drop that and you drop the high joker and it's like,
yeah,
stuck. Right? They're nowhere near the high joker.
Right. Right.
You're nowhere near the high joker.
Right. And so that was 97. I'm sorry. So that was 97 because they went to the finals in 96 and lost to the Bulls. So 97 was a year. All right. So I was 1 year off. But man, bro, come on, bro. Sean Kemp is available. You can't pull off a deal for Sean Kemp.
It's hard to pick at them though. It's a flip side of that, Freezie. Because remember, we said this. I think we mentioned this before. The Knicks had 15 straight years of at least getting to the second round.
15 straight seasons. Yep.
You know, they're going at it with. That's another thing, and this is no knock to Pat, but at no point in time in Pat's career did Pat ever take a backseat to anybody.
Right. Okay.
That's why his exit is the way it is at the very end. He's not, he was hearing the rumors and so forth. I know we're not going to go into the Pat, but it's relevant to the conversation. Right. He starts getting, he hears the rumors. We were better without him. Blah 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 blah. Which makes no sense because you were just in the Eastern Conference with him again.
Right.
He forces his way out. They do a dumb trade, and we suffer for it for
a milli.
Yes, we're suffering for it for a very long time because of that.
Yeah. Sorry about that, y'all. Man, these headphones do something to my ears.
They know we home. Itch. They know you home. That's what it is. They know what we do.
It just make my ears itch. So, but yeah, man. The thing about this team and that team is at least we knew Pat was aging and not gracefully, right? And we knew we had to upgrade, but it was more like the elephant in the room. Whereas this team needs an upgrade at small forward, and it's beyond elephant in the room. It's people are now calling RJ Barrett out, and for those that doubted me 4 years ago when I said this, in the immortal words of Kumo D, Wild Wild West. No, I'm just joking. In the immortal words of Kumo D, how you like me now, right? When Kumo D when I said 4 years ago, every year the Knicks pick a first round pick. Knicks fans pick a first round pick to pick on and try to get them out the door. It's happening. This year, bro, I promise you, the first round, the former first round pick with the target on his back is RJ Barrett. Last year it was Obi, right? I'm telling you, I think for what it is, I think one of these kids or two of these kids are gonna have to go. And we are gonna be the 90s Knicks, a roster full of veterans, no young talent, and cash strap locked in.
I get that, Freezie. If it gets you one step closer to a championship, sometimes you sacrifice your young.
Right.
It's just that simple.
Okay.
You can't play all these young guys.
No, you can't.
Look what happened with the Clippers many, many moons ago when they had all of those young talent.
When they had Zach Randolph, Keon Doolin, Quentin
Miles,
Richardson, Darius Miles, Chris Kaman, Olawa Candy.
For years, they just kept stockpiling young talent. Right. I don't care about young talent that much.
Right.
I want the best of the litter, and the rest, I'm looking, if they're showing something, I'm looking to get better. Not because I drafted you, means that you need to buy a house and think you're going to be here for 30 years.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I draft you. Guess what? There's going to be another draft the next year, June 20, whatever.
June 20, something.
And that person coming in wants your spot.
Right.
The thing that they did in their minds, though, they don't draft anybody in the last 2 years.
Mm.
They waste time with Keels.
Oh God.
What did they see? And there's no knock to Kills. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people bloom later in life or whatever, but you don't have the time for that. Your time is now.
Bro, I don't care if Trevor Kills becomes Hubert Davis.
I don't care.
I just don't have 7 years for it to happen. Or if Trevor Kills is going to become Hubert Davis, okay. I just can't wait 7 years for it to happen, bro. I mean, come on.
You just can't. This thing of you got to be patient and RJ's going to his 5th year, Freezie.
RJ's going into his 5th year.
If we can't look to him now and to expect a certain level of consistency that will help you get to the finals and win it, then win.
Okay. Duly noted. Duly noted. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. I understand where you're coming from with it. My thing with the Knicks though is if we're 26 million over the cap right now, and that's with Evan Fournier. Of course, things will change if somebody eats Fournier's salary, right? But bro, if that's where we are, we locked in, bro. We locked in. Ain't nothing else. Now, I think this team is a 60-win team.
Are the Lakers not locked in?
Yeah. But you know who they're locked in with, right? Top end talent. Is Milwaukee locked in? Yes, they're locked in, but they have top end talent. The Knicks are locked in.
And they don't have the tops of the ends of talent.
Okay.
They have good talent.
I think Brunson is a lot better than what people think. But
that's not even the question.
But what I'm saying is, what about the other pieces?
That's the question.
Yeah.
As presently constituted, you're not a championship winning team. You're just not.
I think we're a.
Could you get lucky? Get to the Eastern Conference, maybe finals.
Work all night to get lucky. Work all night to get lucky. Work all night to get lucky. Yeah.
That could happen.
Yeah, I think we're the Phoenix Suns, bro. I think we're the 2003 Sacramento Kings. Like we're gonna win a lot of games, but we ain't gonna win no championship. I don't think.
I don't think you're missing something.
Yeah,
we're missing that wing.
Right.
We're missing that wing. We're missing that piece between RJ and between Randall and Brunson. Because whatever we feel about, the big guy, he ain't going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, he ain't going nowhere.
So he ain't going anywhere. They've already shown you that.
Yeah.
So I was on, shout out to Steph. I was on the Queen's, Dope Soul podcast. And, if everyone check that out, Dope Soul, they're on Spotify, all of the streaming platforms and so forth. And one of the questions we were going over was the Randall situation. And, I said what I said about Randall. I'm not going to rehash that. But where I got to was the issue isn't necessarily Randall because we know what he is, right? The issue is RJ.
Yeah.
RJ. And you want to look over his overall playoffs, this past playoffs, and say, yeah, he had a good playoffs. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. In the biggest game of the year, you went 1 for 10.
And that is the maddening part.
That's the maddening part. Yeah.
Right? The maddening part is not that RJ Barrett is not a good player. It's for stretches, he looks terrible. Right? And then for stretches, he looks great. But those stretches are unpredictable. You never know when they're going to happen.
Josh Hart can't be the second best player in the biggest game of the year.
No.
That's not what you have him here for.
No.
Just can't be.
Josh Hart, like I mentioned the other night, is that secret sauce you get on your sandwich from the corner store.
Yes.
That's all Josh Hart is. He just that secret sauce. He nothing more, nothing less. Like I was telling them, when you eat the sandwich without the secret sauce, you're like, oh, this sandwich needs something. But then you put too much of that secret sauce on it. Now it's soggy and it tastes like the sauce. You don't even taste the same. You're like, ew, this is too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're expecting too much out of it.
Right.
You're expecting too much out of him in those areas, and we've, I don't care. I do it to myself. I still watch the Game 6 end of the game because I'm baffled that we didn't get to a Game 7.
Right.
But when I look at the box scores, Freezie, of that game, dear God, what would have happened if we didn't have Brunson? They got blown out
of the gym.
And they got blown out of the gym in the biggest game of the year.
If we just had a sprinkling of quickly, I think we win that game. Just a smidge, but that's neither here nor there because Quickly was injured.
He's injured, and Tom he should get a lot of blame for that. And you remember earlier this week, I texted you and I said, Freezie, we watched the end of Golden State Cleveland.
Right.
The point I was trying to make to that was in that final scenario where Kyrie hits the shot, it's the same thing with Brunson.
Right.
But here's the difference. They throw a screen for Kyrie's man and put Curry on Kyrie.
Right.
Curry's not the best defender. They took off. I can't remember who got locked off right there, but they leave Kyrie 1-to-1 with Curry. No way in hell Curry stops him. No way in hell. We've seen Kyrie on that right wing hit that three on us many a game.
Many a times. RJ Barrett rookie season.
Yes. In Brooklyn.
Yep.
In his eye.
Yes.
And he was playing good defense.
Yes.
Right? Brunson, I rewatched the play and I'm like, for me, Freezie, you got the right man with the ball in his hand at the right time. Absolutely, because that's your guy.
Right.
You don't do enough for him to make sure he gets the shot. In that moment, you have him more as a facilitator than I want him shooting the shot.
Right.
You allow the double team to come.
Right.
Instead of giving him a pick where he would have been on, because it's Butler who takes Brunson initially. Yep. Then as he's going off the wing, I think who's it, Drews or whatever? Someone comes in for double. Strus should never had in that position.
Right.
As much as he was cooking Freezie, I want him shooting the ball. I don't want them to force him to pass to anybody else. I don't give a damn if he gets an assist right there.
That is the issue a lot of Knicks fans have with Jalen Brunson. They think he don't pass the ball enough.
They're stuck in 1987 Mark Jackson.
Fat Jackson. I'm not a Mark Jackson fan. Did I ever tell you that? I am
once
not.
Once a Knick, always a Knick. How you gonna disrespect the God like that?
No.
How you gonna disrespect the God like
that? Mark Jackson. Yo, AD, let me tell you something, bro. I don't know if you remember this or not. I remember this. And I try not to bring up memories like this because it makes me a glutton for punishment. Right? Not a gluten, everybody. Everybody know not a gluten, but a glutton. Right? Mark Jackson used to choke so bad in big moments, bro. This is back in the day. See, nowadays players don't choke. They may have bad performances, but they don't look nervous. Back in the day, cats used to look nervous. Bro, Kenny Walker in the fourth quarter against Kevin McHale looked like he was getting ready to go. Looked like he's about to get lethal injection, bro.
Let me run to Mark Jackson's defense real quick here, Freezie.
Okay.
I'm gonna point out.
Please run.
Yeah, I'm gonna highlight three things here. Mark Jackson's best assists. Mark Jackson's probably best season in his NBA career was his rookie season, in my opinion. He averages a double-double. He averages like 10-point-something points per game. Not only that, the GOAT who you don't curry, he revitalizes his energy, Freezie.
Okay.
Without Mark Jackson, Pat is with Rory Sparrow. Again. Okay? Top of that, they sweep Philly the following year. That's with Mark Jackson.
Who was
on
Philly's
the floor.
backcourt?
It was a Hershey Hawkins and
Johnny Dawkins,
I think.
Barkley, Tyrone Hill. Remember Tyrone Hill?
And Mahorn.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and they were the funniest thing is in that series, you can go back and rewatch some of the games. They're still on YouTube. Philly would line them as their coach, solve the Pitino trap. Every time he would do that full court press or whatever, Philly was absolutely smacking them around. Right? Until the fourth quarter. Mark Jackson, I believe in game 2, the Knicks are down 10 or 12 with 2 minutes to go.
Right.
Mark Jackson spearheads that right there, that comeback where I think Trent Tucker hit a 3. He hits a 3.
You're talking about 91, right? This is Johnny Newman.
This is the Johnny Newman with them. This is 89. This is 88, 89. This is before. This is Pitino. This is Pitino's second year and last year with the Knicks.
Okay.
Right?
So
they get to Detroit where Pat has his coming out party against Detroit.
Right.
And so forth. So he's no, not Detroit. I'm sorry. They get to Chicago, right? They win the Atlantic Division. They have home court against Chicago. If you see that game 6 where Trent Tucker has the 4-point play and so forth.
At the buzz, yeah.
Right. Look at Mark Jackson's box score. If I remember correctly, Mark Jackson has like 22 points and 20 assists.
20, yeah, something like that, yeah.
We forget that. He had big moments in big games.
Yeah.
The following year, 92 and so forth, with 2 years later under Riley and so forth, he kind of revitalized his career. So, no, you can't do that tomorrow. You can't.
Yeah, Mark Jackson chokes a lot. Yeah, you're talking about that one stretch, right? But then Mark Jackson choked so bad, bro. We had to go out and get Doc Rivers, bro.
No, they traded him because they thought that Charles Smith was the piece that we talked about earlier, and he wasn't. That he was the centerpiece in that trade.
Charles Smith was excellent with the Clippers. I ain't gonna lie.
Because look at what happens when Mark goes to the Clippers. They get to the playoffs for the first time in God knows whenever.
Yeah, he and a dude that I grew up with, a dude that's a little bit younger than me, named Terry DeHare. You remember Terry DeHare?
Absolutely.
From Seton Hall? Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. All of us used to hang out on the corner of Carteret and Garfield. It's a basketball court. It may be torn down now, but us, Luther Wright,
Big Luther.
one of my homeboys, he went to Syracuse, a dude named Raphael Addison.
Raphael Addison, I remember Raphael as well.
Yeah, and then I'll be walking through the kitchen. Sometimes. I'm like, how all these cats made the NBA and not me, bro? What kind of
you wanted to box? You wanted to.
Yeah, I just wanted to be.
You'd have been a goon. You would have been a goon, Freezie. You'd have been an absolute goon. Yeah.
I don't think I was tall enough, bro. Yeah. I don't think I was tall enough.
Yeah. You'd have been. What's my guy? PJ Tucker. You'd have been PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker 6'5". You'd have been PJ Tucker. You'd have been an absolute goon.
Man.
Out there throwing bows.
Bro, I mean, all of us. It was us, a dude. I don't know if you remember this name or not, but a little kid named Roderick Rhodes. He used to be with. He was like 5 or 6 years younger than us. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Roderick Rhodes.
Where did Roderick go? Did he go to Kentucky?
No, he went to USC.
Okay.
He went to USC.
Okay.
And then I think he transferred. He might have transferred to USC. Mm-hmm. I forget, but yeah, man, he was like, he always had played like this dude named Walt Williams from Maryland.
Walt Williams.
You remember the Wizard, Walt Williams?
Yeah, I thought Walt Williams would have had a better NBA career.
Yeah.
Because he becomes like a small forward, but in Maryland he was the guard. He was the lead guard.
Yeah.
He was a point guard. I thought he was much better with the ball in his hand.
I thought he was better than Steve Smith. Another big point guard.
Another big point. But I never saw Steve as a point guard in the NBA. I thought Walt could have been a point guard in the, or more so of a LeBron-ish,
right?
That kind of.
He was a better athlete than Steve Smith, though.
Yeah, and Smith was a good athlete, but then Smith hurt those knees, and once he hurt the knees, his athleticism was gone. Because remember, the Knicks almost signed him. The Knicks almost signed him and not Allen Houston.
Yeah,
it came down to I
was so mad, bro.
I did not want Steve Smith because I knew he had bad knees. I did not want Steve Smith. And if you remember when we finally played Atlanta in the playoffs, look at Smith's game at that time. It's inconsistent because his knees were bothering him.
Yeah.
And we rightfully flushed him, we did what we did to them.
I honestly think this year of 96 that we talk about, that we reference maybe about once every 2 months or so, I think it's a watershed moment for the Knicks, and I think this year is shaping up like that too. Like once Damian Lillard gets traded, once James Harden because I think once Damian Lillard gets traded, I think it's gonna unclog the dam. I think it's not gonna be as much traffic. You know what I'm saying? I think once you see Dame get traded, I think you'll see a number of other moves happen or occur solely based on the reshuffling of rosters.
But it won't be with the Knicks.
But the Knicks won't get a player. But I do think they'll be involved. I do think they'll be involved, though. I do think they'll be involved.
The name, when Woj came out like a month or so ago, when Harden opts into his deal and he tells them he wants to be traded, whose name was attached to that? That just made no sense in the world.
The Knicks.
Harden, Knicks have interest. What?
Right.
Where? How? Was you going to officially make Brunson the shooting guard?
Woj is an industry plant, bro. I read an article about Woj saying that Woj is the NBA's industry plant, is how he gets all the information first.
Yes.
And how it started was Dre, what's good, man? How it started was Woj and Joe Dumars. How Joe Dumars was like, yo, I'll give you some info if you put this out here. And the NBA find that was the end of their era. Once they found out how Joe Dumars had the inside scoop to everything, you remember because the Pistons used to get everybody, bro. You like, yo, how they get Allen Iverson, bro? How they get Chris Webber? How they get Rashid? How they get that? It's because he had an inside man, right? And the NBA found him, and as soon as the NBA found him, Detroit fell off a cliff they couldn't recover. But the inside man.
That and Joe was terrible in the end.
Right.
Giving Charlie Villanueva, Ben Gordon,
bro.
Just ridiculous contracts. After that, trading Chauncey Billups for a washed Iverson.
Yeah.
He started making some moves and hiring multiple coaches. Joe, at the end, no disrespect, because Joe wins a championship as a player and as an executive. But that back end of his executive life, when he has Perry in the room and whoever else, whatever, was horrible.
Right.
Horrible. Isaiah-ish horrible.
Who's a better executive, Joe or Isaiah?
Joe has a championship as an executive.
I think so. I think Isaiah is definitely a talent evaluator, drafter. Isaiah definitely by
talent evaluator. Yeah. If you just want him to give you his thoughts on this player's ability and projecting long term, absolutely will I have him in the room.
Right.
Anything else? He's kind of like, you remember Fredo in The Godfather?
Yeah.
When Fredo gets out to Vegas, he's kind of the one you want showing the people around. You want them to meet Isaiah.
Right.
You know, only thing is that Mo Green wasn't gonna slap Isaiah around.
No,
That was
no.
not gonna happen. That was not gonna happen.
Let me ask, how good are the Godfather movies?
1 and 2 are excellent pieces of cinema. I rewatched 3 the other day, a couple of months ago, and I I gave it a little bit better feeling than I did, in previous years. You know,
Okay.
although 1 and 2 has, especially 1 has really high level, disgusting racial tones, and how those people felt about black people at certain levels and so forth, and so forth.
Felt.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, but as a movie,
Yeah.
you watch that today
Okay.
as a straight piece of art. You watch that today, very good. The character
That's
development, very all of those guys. Pacino as Michael,
yeah.
you know.
That's interesting. That's very interesting, bro. I'm not a fan.
No,
No.
speak on it.
I just can't get into it. Because a lot of that stuff that you just said. And I'm not a big fan of Francis Ford Coppola for some reason.
Mm.
For some reason. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect. No nothing out of the way towards him. I just can't. You know what I'm saying?
The one thing I've always respected with anyone in art, Freezy, or just in life, is that if you tell me how you feel,
Right. You can
I
respect it,
respect
right?
it. I can
Yeah.
respect it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you come at me like the hyena, you know, I
Then no.
can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's on screen for everyone to see.
Right.
The people within their community can debate, well, this, that, and the third, or whatever. We're not going to get into that part of the conversation because
Right.
facts are just facts.
Right.
But in its presentation and character development and things of that nature, it's an excellent piece of work.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I just can't get into it like that.
I
AD,
think Carlito's way is better than
I think
both of them.
Carlito's way is way better, bro.
I think Carlito's
I
way is
did the story.
definitely.
There's a Bronx Tale.
Mm-hmm.
I love a Bronx Tale. I love Carlito's way. AD, I gotta
Yeah.
run, bro.
All right, sir. Good that we was able to get back. Back in the groove. We're
Next
sorry we
week,
missed a couple
5
of
straight
weeks.
hours.
Can we do a marathon? We can do a marathon. We
Yeah,
can absolutely do a marathon. Why
next week,
not?
5 straight hours of how Errol
Absolutely.
Spence got his. Oh my God, bro.
Got his comeuppance. Let's say that. Got his comeuppance. So, shout out to Errol. No disrespect, as we've spoken off air, that Errol's just not gonna beat Bud Crawford no day of the week.
No day, no.
That's what it is. But hey, thank you again for joining us. We don't know where this journey started, but we know where it ended. It ended again with you.
Bim. Peace, everybody.
Look for us in the whirlwind. Garvey.
Peace. Yo, I gotta